Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Energy Works. Today we're talking about saying goodbye to sadness and hello to joy. I was listening to Barbara O'Neill, and she was talking about pattern interrupt and how we have to, when we sort of go into that sad pattern that we have, all those sad feelings, how we need to do something immediately to change the pattern. So it's like we have to make a new pathway in our brain. So, she said straight away, get a drink of water, take some magnesium, go put your feet on the grass, do some deep breathing. Like immediately that you start to feel sad, it's like we have to interrupt that pattern and we have to make a new brain pathway. So, I was talking to a patient about this yesterday, and he was saying that he found a cold shower was great, or going for a run. So it's like finding things that help you to uh, restart your brain in a more joyful way. So, and being aware of when you feel the sadness or when you feel the mood that isn't good, to take action immediately, and to not stay in that awful place, to do something about it. Because it's like we keep reinforcing that pathway in the brain of staying in the sadness or staying in that distress or whatever the feeling is that we get stuck in that's awful. We want to break that pattern. And so it's like we can train ourselves to do that. We can acknowledge the feeling, but then it's like, no, we're not staying there. And, get an energy work session to get that stuff worked on so that we can address whatever is in there. But you must work out what is your pattern interrupt and what you're going to do about that and how you're going to address it, because we can't stay there. Not good. Okay, so let's go into our throat chakra. All right, so I no longer fear rejection when I speak honestly. I think there's a lot to be said for speaking honestly. Sometimes you have to choose your audience, but I think it's important to express what we feel. For starters, we get that off our chest, and also other people then are able to see where we're at, and often they can relate. So it's like act. We don't have to stay there in that sad part, but express that we do feel sad about whatever the situation is currently. I don't know, what is it that makes you sad currently? What are the things that trigger you? What are the things that are difficult? Something from age 16, so it might be past things that are difficult that are still having an influence in your life right now. Age 26, age 30, and there's some stuck emotions in there. Holding on to the past. So what are you holding on to from the past? Maybe what you wanted someone to say that they didn't say or do. All right, we're going to jump up in one of the highest chakras now. for the solar star, which is about, accepting the good and bad of life. Good morning, Rosie. That's nice. So we're talking about saying goodbye to sadness and hello to joy. So is there a sad thing that you want help letting go of? Getting help with letting go of? All right, so there's an oil called Console. So essential oils have physical properties and emotional properties. So sometimes we need them for the emotional properties that help us move forward in things that we're stuck in. And things can be stuck in our body or our mind or our energy field. So it's like helping it to move. All right, so this is from Essential Emotions, and it says, regarding Console Oil, it encourages individuals to seek divine intervention so they may experience the ever-present mantle of warmth, love, and consolation. So Console helps ease burdens, assists in experiencing a serene heart and mind, and guides individuals towards emotional rest. All right, so Rosie said, just working through this myself at the moment. Throat is kicked off tonight, coincidentally. Oh, interesting, isn't it? Always divine timing. We can also have like a generational component to whatever problems we have. So it's not only our experiences contributing to how we feel, but also the experiences that have come through our genes. Good morning, Tabitha. All right, so dad's side of the family, dad's mum, but the men on that side of the family. And good morning, Casille. Some stuck emotions in there. Right, so the feeling that's stuck is unable to cope with the pressures of life. And there are some days that we can hold it together reasonably. And then there's other days that it feels like you're hanging on by your fingernails and half of them are broken. So, and we need support then when we feel like that. Even if it's just to unload to a friend or, a phone call to someone or someone sends you a little text. They're all the things that just make it possible to get through. All right, so in our aura as well now, so layers of the aura. So the third layer, which is about our thoughts and ideas. All right, so stagnant energy is accumulating in the aura. I don't know if you've ever seen Donna Eden. She does like a aura fluff. She goes around her whole aura to clean it up. So maybe we need to do like a physical thing like that to just help release some of the things. So something in the present. And some stuck emotions. Taken for granted. So that can be very a destructive emotion, isn't it? That we just feel that we're not valued or being appreciated. And sometimes we're just not appreciating ourselves. And so other people sort of step in line with that. Something from age 18. So let's say I'm valued. Yes, I value myself. Not so good. So again, a generational pattern to that one. Dad's side, dad's mum again. Men again. Sorrow hiding in our genes. And also being peeved. And unsupported. Okay, so back to the chakras. So heart chakra. All right, I embrace all that is love and reject all that is unlike love. So I think sometimes when things happen, we can fall into the hole of believing that it's a measurement of us. So, hi, Rosie, good question. She said, are you working on someone in particular right now? I think I missed the beginning. Didn't miss much. So, when I test energy, I don't know whose energy it is. I just test whatever comes up. And so some will be yours, some will be someone else's. Often we have similar things in common. They might just be for different parts of our life. So some might be yours. And, I guess we can assume sometimes wrongly that when someone doesn't treat us in the manner that we would like to be treated, that this is about us. And sometimes it can be, but it also may not be, and it may be about the other person and where they're stuck. And we can see that as a measurement of us. So it's like learning to recognize that we can't be measured really by someone else. We have to be divinely measured if we want to be measured. And if you listen to any near-death experiences, they will talk about how they feel so loved, and that it's like they've always been loved, they always will be loved. There's nothing they can do that will stop them from being loved and accepted. So I guess wanting to come back to that, feeling that we're here to have these experiences to grow and to become stronger and better people. Right. So she said, I was wondering why it felt close to home. Yeah, well, as I said, it's not up to me to decide, but I'm willing to test energy. And yes, some will be yours for sure. And we're all in this same journey, aren't we? Learning to be our best self and learning to live by faith and trust that the experiences that we have are for our greatest good, even though some of them feel so hard and sad. Okay. All right. I give myself permission to experience intimate love. So sometimes we don't let people really see who we are, or, the soft inner part of us. And I guess it's not right to expose who we are to everybody, but there are times to do that. And I think as we do, especially when prompted, then we do develop a stronger connection with other people. And everyone has times when we're going great guns, and then there's times that we just feel like we're just scraping by. So, it's times like that we need to reach out, and often other people can relate because they've been there or are there or are going through that, and we can support each other in that process. Okay, so now we're going to go into the brow chakra. All right, my intuition and awareness are gifts. And sometimes that can feel a tough gift, like, to be aware of other people, what they're feeling, or sometimes to be aware that we're feeling really vulnerable right now and we're not exactly sure how we're going to get through whatever's happening right now, and that can be a bit hard. But we have to trust that the experiences that happen are for our greatest good and for our growth and learning. And even though we may not see the full proportion of what the growth that's coming out of this, sometimes it just feels too hard, and it's like, I don't think I'm through this right now. But I guess taking just one little step at a time forward is the way through. All right, into the crown chakra. All right, again, I work by trusting my intuition. So what's your intuition telling you about your difficult situation right now? There's also a generational component here too. Dad's side, dad's dad this time. Group of men. Like 15 generations of men. All right, I am fun and spiritual. Sometimes we forget the fun. All right, my family is safe. Again, a generational component from Dad about our family being safe. So I don't know, was your dad's family not safe? Something for you, age 6. So where were you? What were you doing at 6? And also something from age 17. And 19. All right, something in our mind. All right, my mind is beautiful. All right, and my mind no longer reverts to fear when I'm in challenging situations. I have faith in my ability to see what needs to be done in life on a daily basis. I easily forgive and forget past offences while keeping healthy boundaries. My mind is in tune with my heart and they work together peacefully. I choose to be peaceful yet work with full purpose of mind. All right, so just going into like the 5 elements. So the wood element comes up, which is to do with gallbladder and liver. So more liver. All right, and good morning, Margaret. So our liver reacting to feelings. So sometimes we can feel depressed, and that can affect our liver. Age 6, age 36, Again, the stuck emotions. Hurts where love is concerned. And sometimes our family have the capacity to hurt us more than other people. And sometimes their methods of teaching us could be better. Um, and we can feel damaged or hurt by the ways that they do that. So so I guess forgiving ourselves that we got damaged, forgiving those that caused the damage. And yet if I test that, that's like we're forgiving the other people, but we're not forgiving ourselves, which is a generational pattern again. That one's from mum's side of the family, mum's dad, the women on mum's dad's side of the family. So 62 generations. So it's a very strong pattern, isn't it, of non-forgiving of self. All right, crown chakra again. So we can also dedicate our call to other people. So if there's anyone else that you would like to dedicate the call to. All right, I'm safe in the presence of others. Sometimes we can feel challenged, particularly by family members, and sometimes it's hard to separate past hurts and experiences from the present. All right, I remember I am always spiritually connected. Uh, one of the near-death experiences I watched, the man talked about how he felt that he understood, once he'd gone out of his body, that he was always loved, he always will be loved, that God was his best cheerleader and also the person that would cry with him when things were tough. And it's like we forget that we are so supported because we can't directly see it, but that support is always there and we're always loved. And I guess it's like we only grow through the difficult things, don't we, really? So it's like allowing ourselves to be supported through the difficult times can be hard, and sometimes it's hard to see the support. And I guess it's like that poem, isn't it? The footsteps in the sand, and sometimes there were only two because we were being carried. So I guess acknowledging when we're being carried or when we need to be carried. All right. I allow others to support me in times of need. I choose to have a high, joyous vibration. Yeah, so sometimes we feel like we can't choose that, and it is hard to break that pattern. But we were talking about that earlier. You know, as soon as you fall into that sadness hole or depression or whatever it is that you fall into, it's like straight away you have to do things to break that pattern. So, drink of water, take some magnesium, use your oils, go put your feet in the grass. Like we talked about this a bit earlier, but knowing what you need to do to interrupt that pattern straight away, because that lifts our vibration. We want to do things that make us feel more joyful. Is there a song in your playlist that as soon as you play that, that's going to help you rise? Is there a poem that you listen to, or is there a picture that you look at that lifts you? I want you to have like this something in your arsenal when you're in those spots that you use straight away to lift your vibration. Yeah, there was a song, a Christmas one that was, I think, over 1,000 people. They sing, I think it was Gloria. And when if I'm in a bad headspace or I have, sometimes we have evil around us. So it's like I use that and I play it over and over again, and it always lifts, always. And it doesn't matter whether it's Christmas or not. So having those things ready to use to help you be joyful, to do the things that bring you joy. Do you need to go for a drive by the beach, or do you need to sit by the river, or just even in your backyard? Do you need to pat your dog or hug your cat? What is it that you need to do to bring you joy? All right, we're still stuck at that one. I choose to have a high joyous vibration. A generational pattern stuck here. Dad's side, dad's dad. And the men, 12 generations of men. And some stuck emotions in our genes. Feelings of self-rejection. So we can see them, not just us that does that. It was like, this is a family pattern, and a lot of our relatives did it before, and we're doing it, but we're also here to be the game changers. We're going to break the patterns. We're here to make a difference. And our family that went before us know how we feel, because they had the same genes, the same feelings. They want to support us in, getting through this pattern. And even, we're all part of carrying this heavy burden, and everyone's carrying a portion of it. So it's like we're all doing it together. All right, back to the heart chakra. All right, I am supported. And you really are. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it. Sometimes it feels so alone and so hard and terrible. But other people feel the same, and they're happy to support you. And, even if it's just you have to rely on divine intervention, do that. Pray, ask, meditate, just take a moment to stop and feel that you're loved, and that you matter, and that your experience matters, and what you feel matters. I nurture easily, and I am nurtured easily. So that one doesn't hold. And that comes from a generational pattern again on mum's side, mum's mum, and the women. 33 generations of women. So you can see why it's so heavy, as a lot of your relatives have felt like this. I love those who need forgiving for not being what I wanted them to be. That's often our family, isn't it? They're the people that can love us most, and they're the people that can drive us most nuts. All right, I acknowledge my own loveliness. All right, what do you like about yourself that you haven't been acknowledging? What about you is wonderful and amazing? Love is everywhere, and I allow myself to experience it. Again, generational patterns preventing us from experiencing love. Dad's side, dad's mum's side, and the women. 33 generations of women. Again, heavy stuff. All right, something's stuck in our neck. Just going to use Ina Siegel's book. She goes through all the segments of the spine and what they represent. Okay. All right, so what's hiding in our neck? Carrying old guilt. Sinus troubles connected here as well to C4. We're just going to plug in an adjustment. Let's see if we've had one to help reset that segment. Something stuck in our head, like structurally the cranium can be not in the correct position. So we're just going to plug in a cranial adjustment. Stuff in our genes again. Dad's side, dad's dad, and the women on that side of the family. So what's stuck in the genes here is being angry at ourselves. So this is a generational pattern of, turning our anger inward when things don't go right. And sometimes that can have started, in childhood. We would get in trouble if mum and dad weren't okay, and maybe it was our fault, maybe it was not, but we then fall into that pattern of it must be my fault and blaming ourselves. All right, back into the throat chakra. I forgive myself. I am important to life's plan. And you so are. You're here in exactly the right time and place, and you have just special things to do, and the things that you feel prompted to do, you need to do them because someone is needing that. We may not know who. It might be the person that you smile to today that's having a bad day. Like, you don't know. We just need you to be you. Loudly, happily. All right, I'm hearing and following my higher self. Yes. I'm accessing the divine language that was spoken to me before this life. And we were instructed and taught and, given tools and things before we came to Earth to help us get through the difficulties that we would face here. And we willingly did it, even though some things we are facing are so hard and it's seem long and drawn out, and it's hard to see that we're getting through it, but we are step by step. Turn around and look back, see how far you've climbed up the mountain. All right, so the spleen meridian comes up now. All right, so bad spleen energy equals bad temper. So are you in a bad mood? Sometimes we get stuck in that bad mood. All right, so what comes up here is being controlling. Sometimes when things aren't going the way that we would like them to go, we want to control all the situations. All right, so there's an oil that could be useful here. This is marjoram. And marjoram is about connection. All right, those in need of marjoram oil most likely use protective coping strategies unintentionally. So it's like they talked about patterns of aloofness, distancing self from other people, or being cold. So deep down, they desire the intimate connection they subconsciously sabotage. And sometimes we kind of have this belief that no one's going to love us. So we're just going to push people away because they go away anyway. So let's just get it over and done with. All right. Marjoram teaches that trust is the basis for all relationships. It assists individuals in increasing their warmth and trust in social situations. Marjoram softens the heart and heals past wounds. It kindles the fire of trust in relationships so that one may fully blossom. When individuals feel safe and loved, they express their authenticity more freely. Marjoram restores trust and openness so that true bonds of love may be formed in friendships and relationships. Right. So we all need that connection, isn't it? I think many of the experiences that we have are common. They may not be exactly the same, but similar flavors. And learning to be okay with who we are, I think, is one of the trickiest lessons in this life. But if we could see who we were before we came to Earth, we would be shocked. And, we're not allowed to remember this. So it's like uncovering who we are, puzzle piece by puzzle piece, and letting the light shine through of who we are. All righty. So let's check in. How's your throat chakra going, Rosie? And anyone else got parts of their body or mind or energy field that are complaining? I'm grateful to each of you for being you and of the individual talents and gifts that you have and the love that you show people. Is a great example, and it helps me to try and do better in showing love and being love. Sometimes we can have dummy spits. I had one yesterday, about difficulties that happen, and we can feel that we're not getting what we need or want in the situations that we're in. But I guess to see the temporary pain and difficulty is helping us to be stronger and better. All righty. Well, thank you for being on the call. Thank you for commenting. It makes such a difference. And I hope that you can work on your pattern interrupt and bring your vibration up and get yourself out of the sadness and the depression and step into joy. Decide that you want to be joyful, and what is it that helps you to be joyful, and let's go for it. Okay. Thanks. See ya.